Whew.
All right. Well, we're here.
We are here. We are back. Oh, man, all right, we'll wait for the people to come in, but we'll see. See how long that takes. It's an unusual stream time for us, so it might be a surprise to some people if they weren't.
Figured we'd start a little early.
Yeah, I'll get in here. Hello, Francisco. Welcome.
Early. Hello.
Yes.
Jared's here.
Right. Don't worry. We can start. Thank you, Jared. Thank you for the permission. Might be walking into a forest fire tonight. Excuse me? What are we doing, Landon? Are you okay?
I think he's talking about the Celtics and how we feel about
them. Fair. I suppose.
Not a ton of fun to watch these games lately.
Not great. But, it is what it is. I still enjoy. They're fun. It is. It'd be nice if they could, it'd be. I saw Greeny tweet this. It'd be nice if they could strip off like a nice win streak here so that people shut up. It'd be real cool.
I agree.
Cool.
I completely agree. It'd be really cool if they started winning games.
My thing is like, even in our comment section, which is like a very niche part of like Celtics like fans and stuff, like it just people are just like looking for something to blame at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like in reality, in my opinion, is just like they're just playing the wrong way consistently. They're being lazy. Jayson Tatum doesn't have a shot under him, and again, people go through slumps, and it's just ill-timed because not only is it'd be one thing if Tatum was going through a slump, but for him to be slumping as bad as he is, and the Celtics not playing the right way, it's just compounded together, which is it's rough timing. Hello, Phil.
I'm so sick and tired of watching him just be bad.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the pod. I really think Philly passing them is embarrassing.
Yeah.
You're just letting teams just catch you. Had big leads on Milwaukee and Philly, collapsed. Yeah, Milwaukee ripped off like a 19, 20-game win streak. Tough to fight that off. Philly's on an 8-game win streak now.
Like, I mean, I said it on the last show, they're just peaking at the right time. Like,
yeah,
what it is.
The playoffs should start in December. Because the Celtics would have won another banner.
I think this early game success feels like a mirage, not doomers. I don't think it was like a mirage. I just think they were playing at their best, and they, for some reason, have stopped doing that. Like, I think that version of the Celtics is what this team can be, but for that, they need Tatum to be playing the right way. They need, the team to be playing defense the right way. They need them not to be taking silly shots. Grant needs to find his confidence again, right? Like Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White need to be playing the right way all the time. Marcus Smart needs to get back to assisting. And for some reason, and again, I truly think that a part of it is they're like just looking ahead to the playoffs too much, and they've gotten lazy, which again, not an excuse. That's just like my take on it. And so they've kind of devolved. And I think in the first few games of the playoffs, you'll either get one of two things. You'll either get them realizing it's time to lock in and playing the right way again, or them trying to do that, but failing to have any sort of momentum and sort of getting off to a rocky start. That doesn't mean I think there'll be a first round exit, but like, I think the first game of the playoff will tell you a lot. And thank you, Landon. I specifically shaved it for you because you said something. All right.
I was excited. Jack texted me today and said I shaved everything except my mustache.
And there's not much there, but it looks funny, and so we're gonna rock it.
It does look funny.
We're gonna rock with it.
I just think it's a really frustrating time to be a fan and to be somebody that I guess covers the team to the degree we do, because it's a lot of guessing. It's a lot of what's wrong with him? We don't know. We're trying to figure it out. We're looking just like everybody else, and we're like, who knows? I'm really happy I'm not the coach of the team, that's for sure. Because Mazzulla is just dealing with all kinds of criticism, whether you think it's valid or not. He has to face it every time he talks to the media. The team's shooting too many threes. His rotations are off. Whatever it is, he's having to field questions on it. And as a rookie head coach, it can't be easy to try and defend yourself over and over and over again when you really haven't proven yourself yet, at least to the extent of a lot of coaches that are successful in this league.
Yeah, Mazzulla's not perfect. I mean, we talked about it extensively on the latest pod. Like, he's made his fair share of mistakes. That Jazz game, like, I don't know how Derek White doesn't touch the floor in the fourth quarter. I don't understand all the rotation decisions lately. It is what it is. But I it's hard for me to put all the blame on Mazzulla when we've seen 3 head coaches and we've seen the same problems arise with every head coach, right? And that's the thing I was back on. I saw a lot of comments on our video today talking about how
He's gone.
Yeah, I saw a lot of comments about how like Brad Stevens is the problem, and I saw Andrew talking about how like Brad Stevens is going to get exposed as a terrible GM.
Yeah, he's done a terrible job.
I really don't get that part. Like the 2 points he made were like hiring Mazzulla was a mistake, and he didn't get Rob a backup center. You needed someone that's more athletic. First of all, this is the same thing when we talk about all-stars and saying this guy should have made it. If you're going to talk shit and say he needed to do this, who? Tell me who Brad was supposed to get as a backup to Rob. Because I hate to break it to you, there aren't many players like Rob in the NBA that you can just pick up off the scrap heap for a minimum contract, right? It also doesn't help that Rob's big offseason acquisition towards ACL playing at Eurobasket. We don't know that. The Joe Mazzulla thing, like, I think with the team the Celtics had, and again, this is opinion, you're welcome to disagree with it, it's more valuable to get somebody that the players like and trust than it would be to grab some random experienced head coach, right? That's just my opinion, right? And this isn't to say Mazzulla isn't a good coach. I think he's done a fine job. I think he's made mistakes, and I think you're seeing some of those mistakes emphasized right now because Jayson Tatum slumping and the other issues going on. But like, who like, what did you want? Like get somebody with absolutely no connection to this team. It took Udoka half the season to build enough trust for the Celtics to play good, right? And you saw the continuation of that success at the start of the season. They've obviously slumped, but I mean, are we just going to ignore all the good things Steven has done? He's traded for Al Horford, traded for Derek White, traded for Malcolm Brogdon, signed Josh Richardson, extended Josh Richardson so he could trade for Derek White, signed Dennis Schroeder and then traded for Daniel Tice. And that Daniel Tice trade led to the trade for Malcolm Brogdon. He extended Al Horford 2 years, $10 million a year. Great contract, right? Like, it just, I don't really get it, right? And every GM makes mistakes. And this isn't me saying Brad Stevens is perfect. Like, you can point to a few things he's done wrong, like signing Enes Kanter. Not great. Not ideal, right? Like, that's just objectively wasn't great, right? You can sit back and say maybe he should have made a stronger push than just getting Mike Muscala. Sure. I don't believe that, but if you want to believe that, I'm not going to fight you on it. But to say like Brad Stevens is the problem, that just feels like we're reaching for someone to blame at this point. I don't.
It is kind of funny just to blame Brad Stevens because people did that for years.
Right.
And like Brad Stevens, in my opinion, just about all the time got as much as he could out of the Celtics teams that he coached.
And I saw Andrew saying something like, I think it's been a real mistake for the Celtics to have 3 head coaches in 3 years.
Yeah, well, they chose to do that. They said, Ime, please go and harass the women in the workplace. We would really like it if you did that so we can deflect questions on it all season.
2 years ago, I remember everybody pointing to Brad Stevens as the problem, right? Like, all of these same people who were complaining were the same people being like, get him out of here. Get him out. He's been here for too long. It's like, I don't know. I was never
there
on the
could have been
Brad
truth
Stevens
to that.
show.
I think they all like Brad. I think that's why he's still around the organization. I think that's why the team has, for the most part, responded pretty well. And he's done a great job with the know-how he has of the roster, of the players he's got, trying to get the right pieces around him. I think, like you said, all his moves are pretty much hit. He's done a pretty good job. I don't think Brad was the problem. I think that's such a lazy... It's a creative take. It is creative because you're not hearing that much anymore.
Yeah.
That's like all reliable. You're really running out of things to say, so you're going back to what used to work for you. But what has he done wrong? Like, what do you really... Like you said, Jack, who are you going to sign? Who is it? Who are you going to get? Who's the big you want Dwight Howard?
I mean, shit, we're on a stream, so we can really like take our time with this. Let me go back to the free agents that we had the fucking options of, right? And realistically, let's remember.
Well, Tristan Thompson worked out for the Lakers.
Yeah, right. Let's be real though. Resign Luke Cornett, and I know some people in trad don't like it. He's fine, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with Luke Cornett. Brought in Blake Griffin, who's been beaten all expectations, in my opinion. Andrew in here saying Danny over Brad.
I think Danny was fired too.
Sure, like, fine. Like, Danny won a championship, and so obviously he's a better GM than Brad, I guess, because that's like the easy thing to say. But like, Andrew, what has Brad done wrong? Like, tell me what Brad has done wrong. He's done nothing but build a good, smart roster around these people. Andrew, we're not talking about the Knicks. This is a Celtics stream.
Yeah,
Good for
I'm
them.
not doing it
But
anymore.
I really don't understand what Brad has done wrong. Yeah, Jared is right. Like, I agree with this. This is what I mean. Personally, the take I agree with.
Literally, the biggest problem is your best player sucks. That's I mean, that is like
this
the
point makes
baseline
sense
of
to
the
you from
problem.
Francisco. Sort of the give it to Tatum in the final minute stretch doesn't, like, whatever. Will, come on, let's breathe.
I don't know how fair any of this is. It's very difficult for me to pick on the coach. I think there are things he's done wrong. We talked about on the pod. We talked about the rotations. I mean, I don't love the threes.
Yes, Andrew. Yes.
What do you mean now it's Tatum? I've complained about Tatum consistently for the last month.
He's been terrible since the All-Star break, Andrew.
Yes, it's Tatum. He sucks. That's literally it. If Tatum doesn't suck, you win probably all these games. 15 points against Utah, you lose by 1. He averages 30 for the season. You lose to Houston, he plays like me, throws the last shot off the backboard. I mean, this isn't rocket science. If you're not thinking it has something to do with Tatum, you're not watching. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what.
To be clear, Jayson Tatum's a great player, and like I've been saying, everyone goes through slumps. This is just a really ill-timed slump, and lately he's been a large reason why Jared Tatum got monstered at the All-Star game.
Well, I think, and I saw this on Reddit today, this is the most fair way to put it. Tatum is an absolutely excellent talent, fantastic player, generational player. People expect him to be the next Larry Bird. These are all fair things, but if you have those kind of expectations and you want him to play at that level, when he's playing like Tobias Harris, it doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it. You have to be better than that. This is your team. You're the guy. You went out and got these super big shoulders that Scal loves so much. Do something with it. Don't shoot a bunch of threes. Go to the basket. His numbers around the basket are pretty good. He shoots about 65% right at the rim. That's pretty good. That was a big issue, especially towards the beginning of last season. He wasn't making those shots around the rim. Now he's starting to do it, so take more of them. Stop taking so many threes. And when you do take threes, don't rely on the super hard ones where you're falling out of bounds. It's gotten lazy. It's gotten like uncreative, just taking pull-up threes at the top of the key. We talked about on the pod at the end of that Utah game. They went for a 2-for-1, and he just chucked at the beginning of the shot clock with 30 seconds to go. Get a better shot. You're down 1. Get to the basket. Draw a foul. My God.
And like I said, player slump. Like, let me read these stats for you. How many straight games? This is 7 straight games. 9 of 25, 10 of 23, 5 of 14, 4 of 17, 8 of 14 better, 9 of 23, 8 of 18. That's Larry Bird in the 86 season. The point being, players go through slumps. Shit happens, right? You can shoot like shit, and you can still win a championship at the end of the year. But to go through this sort of slump out of the All-Star break when you're supposed to be getting on pace for the playoffs is the ill-timed part of it. And like a big reason why the Celtics are losing. Hire Joe for this veteran team. Brad's only mistake. Well, again,
wrong.
Who?
Wrong. He hired Joe for this team specifically because they like Joe. Because they were dealt a terrible hand before the season. Udoka, gets fired essentially, gets banned and then fired. And they're like, what are we going to do? There's 2 weeks before the season starts. We got to have somebody coach the team. Could Brad have pulled back up on the block? Yeah, sure. He could have did it. He doesn't want to. He's settled into being an executive. His family lives around the city, and he doesn't want to have to keep traveling away. They hire the guy that Tatum likes.
Well, the rule is if you say not this guy, you have to give an option. So you have to come back in the chat and say, give another alternative to who the Celtics should have hired, because that's how this works. You can't just say this guy sucks. You have to give like what they should have done instead. So also going back, Evan, I assume this was a joke because that wasn't the thing that they couldn't have. Brad could have done this.
They should have got him. The guy was an all-star starter. If they saw that, they could be nasty. They might not even need Tatum.
This team has zero confidence. Where are you seeing this? They've said nothing but good things about the coaching staff in pressers, and they've said it all year. I don't know where you're pulling this from. If you have receipts, please tell me.
I don't
But
think that's the case. I think these guys do like Joe.
Andrew,
I
chill out
think
with
it's
the
actually
language
the
in the
opposite.
chat. Breathe. Like let's not do that. Let's not be mean to other people. Like chill out, Andrew. I didn't like that 2-for-1 shot. If this is what you're talking about, Andrew.
I think Andrew's agreeing with him.
Oh. I thought
Like
you were
he's saying
calling
the
him
play
that.
was.
I thought you were
We don't have
calling
chat
him
on
that.
chat crime going on right now.
Okay, good. Let's still chill with the language. But yeah, it was not a good shot. Sam and I talked about it on the pod yesterday that you can't be taking that shot. So
I don't know how you're just. I don't know. Did they
that's the
talk about that in
problem.
the post game?
That's the problem. They look at him like a buddy.
Maybe.
Maybe, but like I said, like they were put in a tough situation.
Who
Joe
would
was
you have
put in a
hired?
tough situation. Yeah, and
Who's
again,
your head coach?
you're dodging the question. Who would you have gone with, Will, if you were put in that situation? Like, what would you have done? You can't have the coach that just led you to the finals because he turned out to be a weirdo behind the scenes and be doing some sus stuff. Like, tell me what. And yeah, they did lose Damon Stoudemire because he's going to be a head coach at a college school. Forest Fire. Like I said, come up with another option. Like Darvin Ham.
No.
They had no previous relationship with him. Maybe it would have worked out, but that's a risk you're taking. Brad went with the lowest risk option, and for the
Maybe
most
Quinn
part,
Snyder?
it's worked out. What about the guy in Atlanta as a coach, Quinn Snyder?
Oh, look at that.
I guess. Again, though, my thing is, if you're hiring from the outside, it was always going to be a bigger risk. Maybe you could argue it's a high risk, high reward, but they trusted Joe Mazzulla. He's been there. He has a relationship with the players, so it was the lowest risk move.
I mean,
and
you're
for the
stuck with
most
them
part,
now. They
yeah,
extended him, so
well,
get used
and
to it.
for the most part, it's worked out this season. All right, they've sucked lately, and they're going through a slump. But like, let's not act like Milwaukee didn't go through this slump earlier in the season, or Philly didn't go through this slump earlier in the season. The difference is the Celtics are going through the slump at a bad time. If this happened in November, people would still be panicking, but it wouldn't be nearly as bad.
Well, in fairness to the Doomers, they have legitimately gotten worse.
Yeah,
throughout the season, they've gotten worse.
They have. It's not been great, but yeah, I don't know.
Jared says Mike Gorman has been around for decades. We should have given him a chance. I have to agree with that one, actually. That'd be kind of fire.
Why not? Throw him in there.
Brad liked Becky Hammond.
I would have.
Can you imagine if they hired Becky Hammond and then the team went to shit?
Oh man, Celtics fans are already the worst. I can't imagine. But like I said, it's the same thing. Becky Hammond, Darvin Ham, Quinn Snyder, anybody. It would have been the same thing. Bringing in an outside personality, you always run the risk of them not getting along or them not, having a good relationship with the team, right? That's not a shot on Becky or Quinn or Darvin. Like maybe they could have come in and built a great relationship and it would have worked out. But with Joe Mazzulla, you knew the whole team liked him. The organization trusted him. And again, his philosophies worked. And it's just, yeah. Becky's a great coach. She's awesome, but it's not the point of being a good coach. It's about the relationship they had. Joe Mazzulla was the low risk move, and it worked out. And now you're seeing some of the downfall. But he's a rookie head coach.
Jared's on fire in the chat.
If every team was forced to use their mascot as the head coach, I think the Celtics would be in a good. Yeah, bring in Lucky. Why not? Why not bring in Lucky, man? I don't know. This is not a team problem. It's a Tatum problem. It's both.
I agree.
Tatum's a big problem of the team.
I think Tatum's 80%, if not more.
I don't know, 80%, but
I do, because if Tatum doesn't suck, then they win these games. It's as simple as that. It doesn't mean it's all perfect, but you can't really afford to have like half your team hit the slump at the same time and one of those guys be your best player. Just it doesn't work. Doesn't help. I mean, just chucking threes, inefficient. I believe Bobby tweeted it today, Jack. He's shooting like 20% from three lately.
I saw those stats. It's bad.
It's terrible.
It's bad.
When does the time come where you're like, all right, no more threes? Like you got to like put him on the leash, give him like a little kiddie rule where he's like not allowed to take more than 5 threes unless he makes them. It's almost like he's that one good kid on like the rec league team that's like wildly inconsistent, but you kind of need him to do well. So you're just letting him do whatever he wants. Williams says, what about Vogel as a coach? Not the most ridiculous pitch. It's not.
I guess. None of these are. Becky Hammond probably would have done fine. Darvin Ham probably would have done fine. Quinn Snyder probably would have done fine. That's not the point. The point is Brad Stevens went with somebody that the players vouched for. So like
It was a safe move. You have to
yeah.
remember, this is not something that they knew was happening.
And they couldn't deliberate about this for like months.
Well, actually,
right?
they
Like
they did know it was happening, but they didn't know it was coming out.
they didn't know the problems within the situation. They knew there was something, but they didn't know the extent and the badness of it, and it got leaked. So I don't get Steve Nash vibes from Joe.
I just don't really know what you mean. I don't think Joe's just sitting there. If
yeah,
anything, you can kind of see Joe's imprint on the team.
mhm.
Whether you like it or not, you can see it, and he stands by it. I don't really think Joe's at the point where his players are like, we don't really have a coach. You know, they're not going on
Yes,
Instagram Live being like, me and KD are the coach of the team. Don't worry about it.
Landon, we talked about this in the pod. For me, it is. I think he's gotten a lot better with the timeouts. I think you've seen that. He started to halt runs, like you saw in the Hawks game, you saw in the Blazers game. I think the rotations, I think the inconsistencies in the rotations, like, this night it's Blake Griffin, this night's Muscala, this night's this, like you can't, players don't really establish a rhythm. The Derek White thing in the fourth quarter, I'm not a thing. I don't really get. And then like some of the way he talks about the threes, like I agree with his general philosophy for threes, but for when like reporters or when people like bring up genuine concerns with like Tatum is chucking these, he just sort of goes back to the whole broad thing, like take the three, right? Instead of saying take the right three, let's chill out on the bad ones, right? And so I think he's a little too gung-ho on sticking to his guns in that regard. But again, like I agree with his general philosophies. I think what he does has worked and can work. I place the blame on the players, right? They're just not playing up to par. And I think it's really as simple as that. Can't you guys, Will, no matter how many times you rephrase your same argument, we just disagree with you.
Well,
Like you're just
I
saying
don't
the
know
same
if
thing.
that's necessarily like too out of the realm of possibility. I think he essentially
I
he is a rookie
understand.
head coach.
He's a first-year head coach and he's learning on the fly. So there's going to be some points
That
where
might
he's
be the
not
most fair
perfect.
criticism that there
Sure.
is. I don't think he's never going to be good at the job. And
Mhm.
I don't even know if he's not good at the job yet, but I still think he's still growing.
Mhm.
He still has room to grow. He
I
still needs
mean,
to figure out how to handle adjustments, I think, which could really
yep.
hurt in the playoffs.
He definitely needs to be better, but like this doesn't mean like I mean, if we fire a head coach one season and they struggle a little bit in that first season, we'll have a fucking head coach every season. Let's be real.
Well, the good thing is it creates jobs.
Yeah, if we want to go there. But
Francisco, only one player is not playing well. Tatum, wrong. And I really hate to have to say this, but I don't think Marcus Smart has played that well lately, especially since he came back from his injury. I
not
thought he
great.
was pretty good against Portland from what I saw of the game. I didn't get to sit there glued to the monitor watching it like I usually do, but it seemed like he was pretty engaged. It seemed like he was playing with the same sort of creativity and intellect that he was playing with early in the season. Thought he was locked in defensively. He had a clutch steal on Lillard. But, like, I'm really not thrilled with him not dishing the ball, and I don't even know if that's 1,000% his fault. I'm not
Mhm.
a super big, like, "Oh, I see all the plays they're running and everything and how their offense is supposed to work." But to me, it feels like the ball's not in his hands as much.
Yeah,
But
I think
at
it's
the
in
same
Tatum's
time,
hands too much, if anything.
it could be him making poor decisions, chucking, like you say. It might be in his hands too much. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Well, yeah, this is one of the. I mean, I just said this like that. This is one of the criticisms that have had and that I've seen lately, like the inconsistencies. But like again, he's rookie head coach. He's trying to figure things out on the fly. I'm not ready to place all the blame on Joe Mazzulla. I think that's a bit too much. Like Tatum's been terrible objectively since the All-Star break.
He's been
Marcus Smart
literally
has
so
struggled.
bad.
Like Andrew said,
It's
Grant could be playing better. There's little
true.
consistency there. Like,
Grant did play better, though.
yeah,
In fairness
he
to
did.
Grant,
He
he
was good
literally
against
played
Utah.
better the other day, and they still lost because Tatum was bad. I'm not
Mhm.
convinced Tatum's feet feel okay. Someone, next time you go to a game,
Yeah.
Jack, please ask him if the shoes hurt. Because ever since he started wearing those stupid shoes, he's sucked. Like, not the best. If you're like the Jordan brand, you can't be thrilled with this. You give the guy a shoe, he starts wearing them, and all of a sudden he sucks. Red flag. Don't buy the shoes until he starts playing better. Everyone go tweet to him that you're not going to buy his shoes and just see if he plays better.
They don't get released till April 7th. I don't know when he started wearing them. February 19th. So yeah, it's
The All-Star game. He
about right
scored
there,
a bunch
yeah.
of points and then stopped playing good.
Mhm.
Are they going to hang a banner because he won the All-Star MVP?
Thought a second. I think our rotation is 8 deep when Brogdon, White, and Grandpa Joe is trying to figure out who he can rely on past that. Maybe this is the thing. And again, like it'd be fine if Jayson Tatum played like Jayson Tatum, right? Like they'd be fine. But it's tough. It's tough. So
I really hate that he was like, and we talked about this yesterday. I really hate that after the game, Tatum was like, if Grant makes the shot, nobody's mad.
well, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but at the same time, if you just don't play like an idiot, like nobody's mad. How about that?
Well, I understand what you're saying here. I agree with you. He has to grow as a coach. He definitely has to grow as a coach because it's his first year. You don't give a child a motorcycle before the bike. Again, they didn't have a choice. Will they didn't
Well,
have
essentially, like the
choice.
child's dad cheated on the mom, so like, and the dad got kicked out, so the child has to kind of like support the household right now. Like that's essentially what you got. It might not be the best situation, not ideal, right? Nobody said, Ime, please start ruining things
And
with the team.
if you really want to deep it, and this isn't what you want to hear, this isn't what Celtics fans want to hear, and it's not what I want to hear because I don't think it's necessarily true. But this team is a championship caliber team, but with a new head coach in Joe and with him with the growing pains and with the situation they were dealt, like I still think they're capable of winning a championship, but I don't think it's out of the realm of the possibility that like this just has to be a growth year for them to work out how to play with this new rotation for Joe, having to be head coach. And I think they should be better than that. And for the majority of the season, they were better than that. And I still think they are better than that. But right now, this slump is showing you a lot of the growing pains. Like, for example, like I think this slump should have happened at the start of the season in the sense that it would have made more sense if it happened at the start of the season. Do you know what I'm saying though? Like
it would have made it a little easier for us to be
no,
like,
not
oh,
even
look,
that.
like
Not even
their
that.
coach is new
No.
and they're not playing well. There's your built-in excuse. But now they're not playing well at the end after we saw them actually play well.
And
So
that's why I don't blame Joe as much because you saw that they can win with his philosophies. So what the hell changed? You saw that they can win with Joe Mazzulla and his philosophies, right? So what's happening now?
the first thing that comes to my mind is teams adjusted and the Celtics didn't. But then again, pinpoint what are they doing different? Like if you think that's the like, I don't know if I think that's the problem. I really am honestly not smart enough to tell you. Like with just the eye test, I can't tell you what they're doing differently. Other than missing and Tatum sucks.
I think the biggest criticisms with Joe that I agree with are the rotations thing, the quickness to adapt, and the unwillingness to admit that sometimes certain threes don't work, right? Like those are my three biggest criticisms. But again, I don't think this is a reason to completely blame the season on them.
Andrew says teams are getting better. I think that there's truth to that too, but
sure.
I mean, you should also be getting better. That's kind of how it works. Every team gets better from day 1 to day 82 unless somebody gets hurt or they blow up the team or whatever. Like,
and
you should be able to hang.
Not an excuse for Joe, but at the start of the season, when not blaming this player either, at the start of the season, you had a consistent basis of players. You had the same players playing every night. Then you had to throw Robert Williams, get him in the mix. Then Jaylen Brown got hurt and he missed some games. Then Marcus Smart got hurt and he missed some games. And so then he had to start experimenting and playing different bigs. And now that Rob's missing some time again, you have to experiment and bring those bigs back to the mix. So again, not an excuse. You have the talent to win. You should win and you should be better than you are. And Tatum is a big part of that. But like as much as you haven't like seen it talked about as much, the reason the Bucks went through some struggles at the start of the season was because players were hurt and they weren't able to develop this consistency. Same thing with the Sixers. You're kind of seeing that a little bit now, and I think that it's just bled over a little bit too much for the Celtics.
I mean, I really hope getting Rob back helps. I mean, the defense has gotten better, which in my opinion, early in the season, I was crying for it. I was like, please, the defense gets better, then things should be more consistent. For some reason, they're not. Is the offense that much worse? Is the defense not consistent enough? Is it the rebounding that if I don't feel confident in this team getting a stop? I don't care what the defensive rating is.
It's because of the rebounds.
Even then, I still don't feel confident.
Mm-hmm.
Like they let Talen Horton-Tucker cook them at the end of the game in Utah. Like, I mean, you're gonna stop Harden in the playoffs? You're gonna stop Giannis? That guy's cooking you. That you can't get a stop on him with the game on the line. What is going on?
I understand this, Francisco, but I don't think it's as much that because like who did Philly get? Jalen McDaniels, Jay Crowder for the Bucks. I think those are pretty equivalent to Mike Muscala. Like Jay Crowder's playing some minutes for them, but like I think those teams are just peaking at the right time because they've been able to develop that chemistry, and the Celtics for whatever reason just didn't.
I don't think them not making a trade deadline move.
I wasn't
is
saying
why.
this is pissing me off now. I wasn't saying they didn't have a choice of head coach. I'm saying they didn't have a choice of like what am I responding to? Of like
Like they found out
it's
like their
just
coach was screwing around
they
like
they
2
didn't
weeks
have the
before they
choice to
announced
like
it.
vet people. Yeah, they had like a week before training camp to find this. I'm done talking about Joe Mazzulla. I'm done. Will, you can clearly disagree with me, but you saying this over and over is not going to change my mind. I'm sorry. It's just not. So I'm done with the conversation.
There are fair criticisms of Mazzulla, and
I've
we've talked
said
about them.
And I've talked about them, but just you spamming, stop saying that. You're not going to change my mind. And I appreciate you and I appreciate your opinion. And I gave you the criticisms I had, but you spamming the chat with saying that's wrong. You're wrong. Like it's not productive. It's not like we're done.
I'm just sick of having to like dissect what's wrong with this team. It's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
From a perspective of someone that's not involved, it's really annoying. Like, you're not bad. You're not a bad team. Stop playing like it. Tatum's not a bad player. Stop playing like it. It's really that simple.
I think this is a big thing too. They've played hard on defense when they felt they've needed to, and they've been lazy at other times, and that's just not good enough.
Well, I don't really know what's going to make them feel like they need to. They've absolutely collapsed at the top of the standings. Milwaukee caught them. Now they're behind Philly too. Like, what else? Do you need to fall behind Cleveland? Do you need to lose home court before you start trying? This is not a valid excuse to me. You get paid millions and millions of dollars to play a child's game. Try. That's your job. Try.
Yeah.
It's not that much to ask for you to like legitimately like go do what you're being paid millions of dollars to do. And this isn't like a knock on Landon. It's just like people say this, and it's like this isn't valid. Tatum came out after the Rockets game and literally said he didn't try half that game. That's not acceptable. Your team's falling off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody to stop the avalanche. Literally try.
And I mean, we're going back on this.
This is wrong.
I just don't think personally it made sense, especially because A, it would have been a rental. B, you would have been trading assets that you can trade this summer to make another improvement. C, you would have traded Gallinari, who will one, be good enforcements for next year, and B, would have been a rat move to get rid of Danilo Gallinari while he's hurt and actively trying to get back. Have we seen him on Twitter? He wants to play so bad for this team.
Yeah.
On top of that, I don't think Jakob Poeltl could have played as effectively as a raw backup, right? Like you can play him in those Cornet minutes, but like as much as I love Cornet, having a guy like Jakob Poeltl play that, he's the type of player that needs to play 25 plus minutes. And I just think it would have been awkward with the way the Celtics like to play with the spacing. And on top of that, he made it very clear that he wants to be a starter and he wants to get paid like a starter, so he doesn't want to come off the bench. So if a player is rental for 18, Andrew, if the player is actively saying, I don't want to be coming off the bench, and you trade for him to come off the bench, he's not going to be very happy.
He's not going to help your team chemistry.
This is also very true. People, they just want it more. Like the Celtics just aren't playing up to par right now. They're playing like ass.
Well, Celtics have a target on their back. There is no doubt about that.
But they're not playing like
season. The favorites. Everybody wants a piece of them. They were the chosen team. It feels a lot like 2019. Like, sure, you don't have some guy like self-sabotaging your team or anything like you did that year, but you still have the same scenario. Everybody crowned the Celtics champions before the season started, or at least Eastern Conference champions in 2019. The Warriors had Cousins and everybody was freaking out. It's the same type of vibe. You were supposed to run the table. You did like half the season you tried. Now you're not trying. Landon asks, do we expect them to play lazy to start the playoffs? No, but I don't know what to expect. Every game I'm surprised. You think I expect them to get their head out of their ass? Like, what's it going to take? What needs to happen for them to try?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. I think this is true. They ride momentum too much, good and bad. Like the good example I have of this is like you look at that Knicks game they lost where they blew the lead. Like they played well to start the first quarter, then they were throwing stupid alley-oops off the backboard, right? Like just play the right way. Like stop being flashy, stop doing all this crap, and just play the right way. My point was they know how to play hard on defense. They haven't taken a lot of these games seriously, but do expect them. This is what I said. I think the first game of the playoffs, the first couple games, will give you a good vibe of how capable this team is of turning it on, because I truly do think they're just being lazy because they just want to get to the playoffs. But I think it's going to end in one of two ways. One, they lock in, they get back to playing the right way, and they're fine in the playoffs. Or two, this last stretch of laziness bleeds into the playoffs, and they're not able to get out of their ass quick enough. So that's what I think will happen.
This is like a recycled take. This is not original. This is not original thought. But what you really need to see in the playoffs is how they respond after losing. Because, again, 2019, they came out and ripped off 5 wins in a row, and they were about to win the title. Then they lose game 2 in Milwaukee, and they don't win another game.
Last year, they responded obscenely well to
exactly
losing, but they couldn't string it together much.
Well, that's true. And they couldn't win at home, which was really annoying for the fun aspect of like going back to watch highlights.
Maybe they were like, we couldn't win at home in the playoffs last year. Let's just lose a shit ton of games so we don't have to play.
Yeah, well, they're like, shit. Like we're like really high up. Like we want to play on the road. That's what it was.
Jared saying my hot take, more Blake minutes. Right, like if the team is at their best, no, but right now, hell yeah, because he's the only one out there hustling.
I would love to agree with that, but it just hurts him defensively. Like go back and watch. Or just like even think about those games they had on the West Coast when Horford and Rob were both out, when they lost to the Warriors and they lost to the Clippers. He was getting cooked. Like he wasn't really guarding anybody. He had to play drop coverage, but he does play hard.
You look at the Jazz game too, right? Like he plays hard. 17 offensive rebounds for Utah. I love Blake. He hustles on the boards. Not grabbing rebounds over big guys. He just can't do it. Celtics could be matched up against Butler, Bam, and crew.
Yeah,
In theory, you hate this. They have sucked this year. They are not good this year. Not
Miami.
Bad. Terrible.
Miami's another team like the Celtics, at least this like the current Celtics, of where like it feels like people are waiting for them to start trying. And Jimmy Butler said it after their game against Detroit the other day. He was like, we feel like when we turn it up, we can get stops anytime we want, but like it hasn't been consistent this year. So if you're thinking, like Landon, where you're like trying Eagles playoffs, that's not a team I would want to like screw around with in the playoffs. However, you are what your record says you are at the same time. Last season going into the playoffs, nobody wanted to face the Nets. The Celtics willingly took it on and swept them.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably huge for their confidence going forward, and it helped them get to the finals. So if the Celtics have to jump a tough hurdle at the beginning of the playoffs and not a Mickey Mouse team, back to 2019, Pacers were kind of Mickey Mouse. In the first round of the playoffs, they swept them. Then they kind of got a leg up on the Bucks, and then they got shocked and couldn't recover.
Mm-hmm.
If you have real competition right away, sets the tone for the playoffs. Could go right towards Landon's point.
It doesn't. I'll say this. I don't think there is an easy matchup in the Eastern Conference playoffs this year. I think there are easier matchups, right? Like I'd rather play the, Hawks than the Heat, right? But like Hawks are a fine team. They've got stars. They have the talent to turn it up for a game or two. Well. Right? And that's fine. But like you look down the line, like let's say the Celtics do magically, like the Bucks lose every game and the Celtics get the 1 seed, right? You're talking about a potential matchup of either Knicks, Nets, Heat, Hawks, Raptors, Bulls. Now, if the Bulls magically make it out of the play-in, fine. They're probably the easiest. But even then, the Celtics haven't played the Bulls particularly well, right? They played the Hawks okay. The Raptors always play hard. The Heat always play hard. The Nets are going to play hard. They beat you. The Knicks play hard. There's no easy matchup. And so regardless of who the Celtics get, I think those first 2 games, their body language, how they play for full games, that's going to tell you how they can be in the playoffs. Because once they get in the series with the Bucks or the Sixers, right, I'm still okay looking at the Celtics. They've played those teams very good this year. It's the games that don't matter that are the problem. And if you want my honest opinion, I think the Celtics either get bounced in the first round or they go to a 7-game series with the Bucks in the ECF. That's genuinely what I believe. I believe they will either be a complete disaster. This trend will continue and they will lose to the Knicks or the Nets or the Heat or whoever in the first round is the upset of the year. Or they'll be confident. They'll roll through that team. They'll be confident. They'll take down the second round opponent and they'll be confident. And I don't know what's going to happen with Milwaukee. They're rolling, but I think they can take them to 7 at the very least. And that'll be a great series. Right.
Well,
and then I don't know what'll happen in the first round,
but maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need to get like really their wake up call.
I don't think that will happen. I don't think that will happen, but I can see that if they continue to play like this, which I don't know if they will, but
yeah. Who knows? Who knows who they're even going to play? Who knows what
Yeah,
seed they're going to
exactly.
be?
Knicks over Boston would
We're not
absolutely be
talking
an
about
upset.
this. I'm
It-
not doing the Knicks every time.
It,
I'm just
it
not
would
doing it.
it would objectively be an upset. But anyways,
The Celtics literally were title favorites. Like, it's not that outrageous.
and they're still above them in the standings, no matter how many. There's still 7 games ahead of them in the standings. Stop.
Celtics are terrible right now. Like, nobody's denying that. Figure it out. I'm sick. I'm just sick of like guessing what's wrong with this team when it's really right in front of you. Tatum, if he just doesn't suck, they're fine. It's that simple. We have to talk about other things because that's what we do. We have to fill time. But that's it. That's the baseline. Tatum doesn't suck. This team's good. What is it like? If his net rating is over 7, they're like never lost, undefeated.
If his plus minus is 7 or above, I'm pretty sure they're undefeated. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, literally, if that guy doesn't suck, you win. That's it. It's like last season's playoffs. All you have to do is not be the absolute worst, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
I feel bad, like, yeah, he's like a person too or whatever, and like literally have just been like shitting on him for a month. I mean, listen, if Julius Randle's beating you in a playoff series, that's when you blow up the team. If it's him, it's not like, listen, Brunson's a fine player. But if it's that guy that plays like he's like playing on ice skates, like a bull in a china shop, like Giannis, if he wasn't good, yeah, blow up the team because that guy sucks.
Hey, you could get a pretty return for Tatum, I'll say.
Dude, I mean, we might be talking about it. We might have to talk about that.
Oh, man. Amazing. All right. Do we want to talk about more Celtics or do we want to do the bracket?
Let's go a little longer.
All right. I mean, what do you got? I'm fresh out of shit.
You've got Sacramento tomorrow night. That is the second best team in the Western Conference. They have been playing well this season. They have surprised everybody. We picked them around 10th before the season started. We did acknowledge that they went all in.
We both had them in 11th, I remember.
Hello, it was just tough. Before the season, it really felt like that Western Conference was going to be a force. Instead, it's been an absolute shit show, and nobody can decide if they're good or not. So they all just like keep like winning a game and losing a game, and they're all like 500, except for like 3 teams. And the Kings are one of those teams that decided we're going to win multiple games.
Yeah, let's take a look quick. Let's go. We'll start at 6. Mavericks 36-35, Warriors 36-36, Thunder 35-36, Timberwolves 35-37, Lakers 35-37, Jazz 34-36, Pelicans 34-37. Just clumped together.
I mean, you want to talk about a meltdown. Look no further than the Pelicans. Also, early in the season, I had to walk back the Zion fat could never play again statement. I'm bringing it back. Guy cannot stay healthy. I'm now standing by it. I don't care what he does. I'm not convinced you can get fat in the NBA and recover. We saw him give it his best shot. He made the All-Star team, but he's not playing. He's not suiting up, and that team is absolutely melted. They were first in the West at one point. Lost what? At least 10 straight. I know it was 10 straight for a fact. Now they're barely hanging on. They're probably not going to make the play-in.
Goodbye, Andrew. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Enjoy the game. Seriously.
Lewis, nah. I can't.
I don't think so, man. They just
can't win on the road.
Straight road game. And they're getting bullied by the Grizzlies. Those guys came out last week and said they're like not afraid of the Grizzlies. They don't consider the Grizzlies a rival, and then they could just keep getting punked by the Grizzlies. Dillon Brooks is owning that team right now. They're all mad at him. Clay's mad at him. He locked up Steph in Saturday's game. Like Draymond's talking about him on his podcast. Like he did a great job of getting in those guys' head. He said he has plenty of real estate out in San Francisco, and it looks like it's true.
He's not wrong. He's kind of
mind you, they didn't have Ja.
Yeah,
they beat the Warriors twice without Ja. If you're the Warriors, it's not great.
Grizzlies are a good team, man. They're good. And unfortunately for Golden State, if the Warriors find themselves in the 6th seed, look who they got in the first round. Have fun.
Who do they have? Memphis?
Memphis.
That would be the greatest. I would absolutely love to see a Memphis Golden State playoff series. I saw somebody quote tweet a Marcus Spears like take that Memphis and Golden State's the best.
Shall we wait? Let's wait for Sam to unfreeze so he can continue staying. He's gonna be pissed when he comes back. Usually I take over and continue what Sam was saying when he freezes, but I don't know what he was saying because he started it and then he couldn't finish it. So let's see. If the Warriors get in the playoffs, they're still a threat. They're a threat, but I don't trust them because they haven't shown any sort of consistency this year. And yeah, if Wiggins fixes his personal problems or behind the scenes issues, whatever's going on, hopefully he can get back on the court. Wish him well, but they'd obviously be better.
Oh, I made
back.
it. Jesus. Really asking a lot for this internet. Don't buy Verizon. Don't do it.
Well, we missed what you were saying. Go ahead.
I was talking about. Oh, yes. In terms of the actual players involved in the rivalry, these two teams hate each other.
Yeah, they do.
There aren't other teams in the league that really feel that way about each other right now. Give me one example. I don't think it exists. Historically, Celtics Lakers is excellent. Of course, Philly Boston is maybe up there with the current players just because they've just owned Philly, and that's like a storyline. But in terms of actual like story, that is the most substance.
Yeah, I agree. And also on the Wiggins situation, we won't get into it, but don't believe any reports that aren't coming from the team because you saw his girlfriend talk about it and say those reports are false. People are just saying random shit on Twitter. They're like, don't believe.
Have they said what's going on?
Someone came out and said something along the lines of it was like a family situation. I don't want to speak on the details because I don't know them personally, but like
that's fair.
Talking about his family and his kids and stuff like that and saying it was an issues or whatever. And his girlfriend basically tweeted out like people will say anything on the internet these days. So I think people are just talking about him because no one knows. And I saw a really good thread about it. I can't remember who put it on Twitter. I wish I did, but something along the lines of like someone said something about Wiggins, like a Golden State talk radio, which I've learned is almost as bad as Boston, by the way.
Good for them.
Is his bestie supposed? Yeah, that's the rumor I saw, but I don't think it's true because I think the girlfriend put something like people will say anything these days. Anyway, someone said something along the lines of like, this guy's missed 10 days and no one knows why. And someone made the point of like, well, yeah, if you take a leave of absence from work, your boss isn't going to go spewing it to all your coworkers in the public, right? Like that's not a thing. Right. And you can argue like that's just not how it works. Like respect his honesty, his privacy. Wish him well. Hope he comes back soon.
I am typically a big NBA is not a regular job guy where
but like
things should be public. But like, I don't know, like if you're dealing with something, you're dealing with something.
When it comes to your private life, I don't buy that. Like,
no, I agree. I agree with that. I don't think a lot of the times I don't think they should get special treatment, but like you don't know what's going on. So what are you going to do?
Jared saying this. I wish Dillon Brooks was a Celtic because I enjoy.
He would be an excellent Celtic.
He'd be a good Celtic.
Is he a rat? Hell yes, but they love him.
Yeah, he's a rat. If you're a Philly fan, you think Marcus is a rat.
Oh, like, yes, you do.
Exactly.
Actually, if you're just not a Celtics fan, you think that. Pretty much it.
Very true.
All right, we're out of stuff to talk about. It's time.
All right, we got all the regulars in here.
If you are a regular and you know other regulars, get them in here. It's time.
Yeah, get everybody in here. We got Lewis, we got Landon, we got Phil, we got Jared. I know Andrew left. If you're here, drop a message in the chat so we know you're here. We're doing a bracket and we need your input. So help us out here. Help us out. I haven't seen Birkin in a while. Birkin.
Yeah, I wonder what Birkin's up to. Be aware, Jack. I'm going on Facebook, so my computer's gonna really need a breather.
Sam's gonna be lagging. He's like two Brad Marchand stacked on top of each other. Is this Marcus? Who are we talking about? Dillon Brooks?
Give me the option to share. There we go.
Sam's struggling here. Hello, Phil. Lewis, Landon, Jared. I know Jared's here. You just said something. Lewis and Landon, I know have been saying stuff, so I assume they're still here.
All right. We have been doing brackets all month. It is time for the bracket that actually inspired us to do brackets all month.
Oh, oops. Wait.
What are you doing?
That's what I'm looking for.
There you go. We have the official Sam bracket. Landon has been a big advocate of the many faces I have on these shows. I have had family members say they do not recognize me at different events. I am a man of many looks. So it's time. Funny. We're going to go through. We're going to have the chat help us pick which Sam is best.
This is great.
We have a bunch of different Sams. The first two that you see on the screen right now, you have Donut Sam versus regular Sam, the default Sam. This is one of the more recent. the recent streams.
Oh man.
The donut stream was a great stream. That was New York, and I had just gotten 6 Krispy Kreme donuts, and I was slamming them all back on the pre.
Lewis calling this crying Sam.
Oh, there is a crying Sam in here.
Oh, okay. This isn't even crying Sam.
A sickness Sam. Donut
That's
Sam
awesome.
is a 1 seed.
I'm gonna move us here so we can put the comments up.
Okay.
Donut Sam is a 1 seed. I feel like we're voting for Donut Sam here.
I think Donut Sam's kind of a wagon.
Yeah, I think Donut Sam wins.
All right.
I agree.
Donut Sam advances.
Oh, this bracket.
Now you've got Mustache Sam versus Slicked Back Sam.
Studio Sam.
Studio Sam, Slicked Back Sam, camera on a little bit of a tilt Sam.
Lewis goes, I like Penthouse Jack.
Well, you have Mustache Jack now. You have Mustache Sam in the bracket, but you have Mustache Jack now.
It's a new era. Is calling something a wagon good before using the mice? Maybe I don't use it in that context.
Maybe not.
Blow these up a little.
Let's see.
Just hit Control Plus. Can you just hit Control Plus on the website?
Is this better?
Yeah, a little more. Keep going.
A little more.
There we go.
We'll do one more.
You'll have to do. Oh, the ad's gone. That's perfect. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. He says he likes Hat Sam.
Jared Sam. We have one more for Studio.
Cool mustache.
We have Studio Sam. We have one for Mustache Sam. Landon, Lewis, what do we think?
I'm gonna tweet this. Hold on.
You need to tweet the Sam bracket. Very funny. Ooh, sorry, I'm getting messages from my realtor, Lewis. I'm looking at apartments still. We could do a Jack apartment hunt stream.
Jack goes apartment shopping vlog.
Yeah, right. I'm looking at this right now. This one's not bad here. David Lynch Sam on the right. Studio Sam, but I'd get a beer with it. Jared goes, Studio Sam looks more put together, but I'd get a beer with the hat, Sam.
Studio Sam looks more... Yeah, I kind of look like a bum with the hat and the mustache.
Sam's just hot. He's all one seed.
Potential apartment bracket, Jared says.
Apartment bracket. What are we going with, Sam?
I like the mustache Sam. What do you think?
I lean Mustache Sam. I think it's more iconic. It's more versatile.
It was an interesting month in the show's history is when I was trying to do a mustache. Now you've got
oh wow.
Fat Sam versus
OG. OG Sam. Holy shit. Shout out Bannertown
OG
USA.
Fat Sam with the headset versus
look at the
Flanders looking Sam.
Look at the editing on the podcast too. God, horrendous.
This might have been when I was doing the shows on the Xbox.
Disaster.
Actually,
I would get so mad.
You would get so mad at what? Oh, when I was doing the Xbox,
yeah,
and I just wasn't paying attention.
Playing Xbox, we'd be doing the pod. I would be making something. He goes, "Oh, come on!" and just get mad at 2K or some dumb shit. I was like, "What the fuck are we doing?" Like,
yeah, it was really unserious, Sam.
Oh, it was very funny.
I had the gamer headset up until last year.
I remember
this mic is literally like less than a year old.
I remember.
Piece of shit.
I enjoy Gamer Sam. Gamer Sam's fire. Fat Sam.
Gamer Sam, Fat Sam. I like Fat Sam. I lean Fat Sam.
It's funny because Sam's lost weight during the course of us recording this, and I've gained weight. It's kind of been not a great thing for me. I need to. We're working on it. We're working on it. Anyways,
we've got sick, depressed Sam versus winter hat inside Sam.
I mean, depressed Sam is a Twitter.
Depressed Sam is iconic.
I love it. That's top tier. That's
one of my favorite pictures of myself, actually.
I think we got to put it through. Depressed Sam. It's go to Twitter.
I think it's through.
Yeah, it has to be.
Now we have Donut Sam versus Mustache Hat Sam.
This is tough. Hello, Land Clam. Welcome back.
Chat,
Winter
what do you
hat
think?
Sam, sorry.
I still have the Krispy Kreme hat.
I'm sorry, Jared.
Right there.
We had to go with the OG. I love Mustache Sam, but Donut Sam seems so iconic.
I
don't know.
liked the mustache. I had to get rid of it when the guy was like, "How long have you been growing that out?" And then I was like, "Wow, like I've really been trying for a long time, and I just look like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
fifth grader that hit puberty a little early." You know,
That's tough.
Jared says he's going with Hat Sam here in the upset.
No, he was rooting for this Hat Sam.
This is the new one.
Eileen Donuts. Oh, Hat Sam. Hats. We have a lot of Hat Sam in the chat. I think
people like the mustache Hat Sam.
I think we have to be a man of the people.
This may be the most vain bracket in the history of brackets.
Lewis, you don't understand. Sam's been playing this for weeks. This has been
because like I have a million different looks.
Oh, this is great. I mean, if we really want to talk about different looks, I was 4'10" in high school. We can break out some old pictures. Anyways, I think we got to be men of the people here, Sam. I think we do a mustache, Sam.
We might have to do the mustache.
I think
went to
we
click
got
it on my window in the stream, not the actual window. All right, mustache Sam is through.
Oh,
now we have Fat Gamer Sam versus just got hit by a truck Sam.
This is tough.
What do we think, chat?
I didn't see Landon. Welcome. We're all here now. Oh man, it's tough for me because the picture on the right is such an iconic photo on Twitter at this point. But like the OG Gamer Sam is like, oh man, crazy.
Fat Sam 100. Gamer Sam.
Yeah.
That's cokehead real estate agent Sam.
This is true. It does look like that. It's true.
Well, I'm so happy Lewis is here for this. I knew Lewis would make this so much fun.
Yeah. I agree. But Lewis, are we leaning Gamer Sam though?
Like, I know we might have to put Fat Sam through.
I think the people are rooting for Gamer Sam here. I think that's what the people are saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna have Mustache Sam with the smile versus Fat Gamer Sam, who could not be less interested in whatever was going on.
This is like a 12 seed going through with the Mustache Sam. I didn't expect.
I know. I did not. I expected the Donut Sam to just plow through everybody.
Yeah. Well, this is a tough one here, though. Are we going Hat Sam or Gamer Sam? Chat.
I'm gonna make Gamer Sam my Google profile picture.
That's funny as shit. Landclam's going for Gamer Sam here. Oh, this is tough. Hat Sam, take it home. Okay, so we got Jared likes Hat Sam. Landclam likes Gamer Sam. Lewis, Landon. I don't know if Phil's still here, but what do we think?
We're starting to get some people. Landon likes Fat Gamer Sam.
Gamer Sam gets the vote. Get you a man who can do.
That's right. Wait till you see the other side of the bracket.
Landon, actually, I like Cokehead Sam. I know. I'm sorry, Lewis. Cokehead Gamer for Phil. Oh no, this is nuts. We've got so many votes.
Try a shirtless Sam, maybe. There actually is like a shirtless picture of me that I put on Tinder for a while, and like I really wasn't in shape to have a shirtless picture.
Oh, you can't do shirtless picture on
No,
Tinder.
it won't be shown on stream. I did think about it. I did think about putting it in the bracket. Oh yeah, Jared, there's another side to the bracket. The way these brackets work is for whatever reason, it makes you do one side at a time.
Landon going Mustache. So we have 2 for Gamer and 2 for Mustache right now. You know what that means? This means Lewis has to be the deciding vote. Right? Because we got Landclem and Phil for Gamer. We got Jared and Landon for Mustache. Lewis, you are the deciding vote. Is it Mustache Hat Sam or is it Gamer Sam? You are the final vote in the chat. Unless there's a magic 6 person that's not saying something. Not the Gamer.
Not the Gamer.
So it looks like Mustache
Sam wagon. Unexpected wagon. All right.
Yeah, we're a democracy here in this chat.
We move. Now you have absolutely disgusted Sam versus OG pregame suit Sam.
Oh my god. This was your Twitter profile picture for a while.
This was my Twitter picture for a while, yes. I can't believe it.
Wow. This is amazing. Again, left one's like a Twitter icon.
I do think the left picture is just fantastic. That's one of the greatest pictures of all time.
It is great, but the right one's iconic because I know it from Twitter.
Jared likes disgusted Sam. Land Clam goes
Yeah,
Disgusted
we're
Sam.
going. I
Looks
think
like
it's.
Disgusted Sam might power through here.
I think we got to go Disgusted Sam. Yeah.
Now you
Oh
have
my
Fat
god.
Sweaty Sam versus Headband Sunglasses Sam.
Holy shit. What is that picture on the left?
I
Oh
forget.
my
I think we were talking
god.
to Smartwater that day.
Jesus.
Gamer
The
Sam
editing's
looks suicidal.
I don't even hate that editing, like with the Twitter tag, but like, yikes.
Dude, I probably had just come back from a run and I just sat down.
Yeah, I think we're getting. I think Sweaty Sam is gonna make it.
Sweaty Sam is a wagon.
Yeah, I think that's probably what we roll with. Oh, we got right. Please, Landclimb voted right, but I think oh my god,
You
holy
have
shit.
the OG Easter Sam versus Sam looks like he's out of Goodwill Hunting with a button up. And I'm just like staring into the camera with everything I got.
Wow. Oh my god, I don't even
I like
know.
both of these. I sneaky like the one on the right. I think that's like a really funny picture just because I'm staring right through you.
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Oh man, chat.
I need a drink.
Kid Sam or Intense Sam?
Intense, like just staring right through you with a
Holy
stupid
shit.
haircut. And that I went on TV with a haircut like that.
That's crazy. I'm thinking of like, I'm trying to think of like what a Jack bracket would look like. Holy hell, that would be disaster.
The haircut seals it.
For which one?
Problem Child Sam, Intense Sam.
We've got a split in the chat again. Help us out, people. What do we think? Landclam, Phil. What do we think? Oh man, this is funny.
I can't. I meant like that left, the right one, my profile picture.
Kid Sam, Intense
Sam.
Sam. I audibly said no when you went to.
Oh yeah,
TV.
I did. I've been on TV with that haircut. Disaster.
We have. I think Intense Sam wins, right? Because we had 2 for Child Sam.
Yeah, I
But
think
then
so.
we had 3 for Intense Sam. So I think we're going Intense Sam here.
And now we've got the famous
fuck?
Logic Sam versus Simple Sam.
What is that haircut on the right?
That was
You had a bowl cut.
I know.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I had all these different looks. I was just going through old shows and I was like, Jesus Christ, I look different in every episode we do.
That's nuts. That background was also chaotic.
It was a good idea. I liked it. You had a little funk on the old Jumbotron.
Yeah, Zoe took that picture, actually. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh, I did not know that.
So we had the legal rights to it.
Excellent.
How many Child Sams could beat up how
many kids could I beat up with Intense Sam? Intense Sam's just like committing child abuse. Just like Intense Sam just took off the belt.
I like Bowl Cut Sam. Personally.
Bowl Cut Simple Sam is kind of a heater.
That
is a wagon picture if I've seen it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we go Bowl Cut.
Now we have Disgusted Sam, likely disgusted by the other picture
Sam.
of Sweaty Sam.
I mean, holy shit. This is like the worst case scenario. What is RSO Sam?
Yeah, what is RSO? That one, I took that one because Landon would always say I look like Logic. They would always say I look like Logic when I would do that look in the chat.
I did not remember that. So what, Disgusted Sam or Sweaty Sam?
I loved that disgusted picture. I think I went to
what were we talking about?
I don't even remember.
Where do you remember the show it's from?
No, I had that saved because you tweeted it. I just had it saved on my phone. Yeah, you tweeted that one day.
Oh man.
You were editing a pod or something.
Go look when you saved it. And I'm gonna go find out what we were talking about.
I'll look. Chat, tell us which one you want. Let's see.
Celtics injury report for tomorrow. Gallinari, Pritchard, done.
Oh, well, they're going to
Rob is
lose.
back.
December
Rob
9th.
is back. Oh, man, that was a while ago. Let me look at it.
We have a split. Jared, so good he can't pick. Landon loves the picture on the right. Phil loves disgusted Sam. Jared votes for Sweaty Sam. Landon has also voted for Sweaty Sam. The Land Clam cannot stop looking at Sweaty Sam.
I think it's Sweaty Sam.
It is Sweaty Sam. That was an excellent photo. Now you've got the battle of the terrible haircuts. You've got Goodwill Hunting haircut Sam, Intense Sam versus Simple Sam. Jared says, Sweaty Sam is my new sleep paralysis demon.
Jesus Christ. I mean, this is something.
This is fantastic.
Goodwill Hunting Sam is so good.
Lewis is tired of sharing all these pictures of me with the world.
I found the pod the picture was from. Disgusted Sam.
That was a time, too. Landon likes Simple Sam.
I think we're going simple, right?
One more time, chat, before we pick. Quickly.
I'm currently looking for Disgusted Sam face so I can figure out what we were talking about.
Lewis wants to see Jack's penthouse spread.
Lewis, I haven't moved out yet. I still live at home.
Simple Jack. Yeah, it's simple me. Where does Sky Miles Sam rank? This is just normal Sam. All right. I think Simple Sam is going. Lewis doesn't like either of them.
Yeah, Simple Sam. Simple
Sam versus Fat Sweaty Sam now.
Oh, I think Fat Sweaty Sam's gonna win now.
I might agree.
We
Sweaty
can ask
Sam
the people,
is just a powerhouse.
It's very funny. Great picture.
What a gem that was. We're gonna put him through.
Yeah.
And now you've got the finals. You have Creepy Mustache Sam versus Sweaty Sam. We've made it.
I have a feeling Hat Sam's gonna win because everyone loves it.
They loved Hat Sam. Should I make Hat Sam my profile picture?
You could. It'd be funny.
I like my profile picture. I don't want to change it.
I was gonna say you should make the winner of the bracket your profile picture on Twitter.
I will tweet the bracket.
I'm still looking for Disgusted Sam, but I don't know if I'll find it.
Justin says
I found it.
Sam is good. You found it?
I saw it in when you can hover on YouTube and you can see the picture. I just saw it pop up.
I wonder what we were talking about.
It was end of the show.
Justin says, Sam, you need to get Hulk Hogan glasses and a visor. Jared says, I don't know. Hat Sam is like too perfect. I admire the raw beauty and alternative nature of Sweaty Sam. Phil likes Hat Sam. Landon likes Sweaty Sam. This might be a split decision. What was what were we talking about? I think I was saying I couldn't I thought they did something really dumb.
No, you were talking about how great Jaylen Brown is.
Is that what I was saying?
You said, why not try throwing Jaylen Brown in there? He's averaging 30 over his last 10, and he's a second on this team. Then you made the face yeah. So, we got a 2v2 right now.
We have a 2v2. Jared is torn. Jared may be the decider.
Yeah. Yeah, because we got Justin and Phil for Hat Sam, Landon and Land Clam for Sweaty Sam. Jared can't decide. Lewis hasn't weighed in. Lewis might be gone.
Lewis, I think Lewis has had enough. Lewis hated this bit. This bit flopped for Lewis.
I like Sweaty Sam for what it's worth. My vote for Sweaty Sam is not an indictment of Hot Sam. Yeah, I think Sweaty Sam has to
Sweaty
win.
Sam wins. All right, now let's zoom out. Actually,
wow.
I don't even have to zoom out. Nope, come on, you can do it.
Wow.
Oh my God. Yeah, I have to zoom out.
Sam is struggling.
There it is.
Look at it in all its glory. That's hilarious.
I have downloaded the image.
Are you tweeting out the bracket?
I will tweet the bracket. I'll tweet it from the pod account, then we can retweet it.
That's great.
And not to mention, wow, Sam, that's a really nice touch that the pod logo is the background.
I didn't even see that
when you set it up. All right, enough looking at pictures of me. We're back.
All right. I mean, I think that wraps it up. I think that's all we wanted to do today, right?
Yeah, I think we've talked enough.
Beauty. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate you very much. We will be back tomorrow for pregame. Go check out the pod we dropped today. Make sure to.
Landon says we got to blame Mazzulla for the bracket.
Yeah. Blame Mazzulla. Anything you want to say before getting out of here?
Thank you very much for watching and sitting through us doing pictures of me. I hope you liked it. We meant it for you to be funny for everybody. I think it bombed.
You don't think it was fun?
How I thought it was going to go. I thought it was fun.
I think we had more people would have been good, but we didn't. We had enough people. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Check us both out on Twitter. That's below our faces. Excuse me. Subscribe to the channel. We're at 298 right now. Help us get to 300 subscribers. We would very much appreciate it. Check us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at How About Them Season, How About Them Celtics podcast. Leave us a rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Even if you don't listen there, it would help us out, help us get in the algorithm, help us with all that good stuff. We'd appreciate it. Again, check out the latest pod dropped this morning. And yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow night before the Kings game. They play at 10, so we'll see you at 9:30 tomorrow night for pregame before the Kings. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. We will catch you later. Peace out.